Hello everyone, this is Dr. Mihir Shah once again with another video. In this video, we are going to learn how to calculate problem sums based on borrowing decision, which are based on covered interest parity theory under the chapter International Parity Relationship and Foreign Exchange Rate under the subject International Finance. In this video, we're going to solve two problem sums, okay, to cover up the topic based on borrowing decision. Okay, now before starting with the sum, first let us note down one formula and then we can solve any kind of sum based on borrowing decision. Okay, this is the formula which I would like everyone to first note it down. Net liability when borrowing is equal to borrowing amount upon the spot bid rate into 1 plus highest interest rate upon 100 into period upon 12 into forward ask rate minus the borrowing amount. Okay, so this is the formula which is only required to solve any kind of sum based on borrowing decision. Now let us see how to use this particular formula in the problem sums. Okay, now let us see the very first type of sum, okay, under the topic borrowing decision based on covered interest parity theory. Now we'll read the question once and then we'll see how to solve the sum. The following data was available to decide on the best alternatives for borrowing INR 12 million for a temporary period of 3 months on a risk-free basis. Ignore the transaction cost and the exchange rates are against INR. So they are giving you currency USD, Euro and GBP. They are giving you the spot rate, they are giving you the 3 month forward rate, they are giving you the interest rates, okay, and they're asking us to basically find the best alternative from where you can borrow. Okay, so always remember, check what currencies they have given us. Okay, they're giving you USD, Euro and GBP. So we'll have to find the net liability of all the three currency, the one in which the liability is the least, okay, that will be the selected one. Okay, now remember the formula. Okay, whenever they have given you to find, they're asking you to find the net liability, okay, of the borrowing, basically from the borrowing point of view, the formula will always be borrowing amount upon spot bid rate into 1 plus highest interest rate upon 100 into the period upon 12 into forward ask rate. Here remember it is spot bid rate, here it will be forward ask rate minus the borrowing amount. Okay, if you all note down this formula and if you solve according to this formula, you all can never get this sum wrong. Okay, so now let us see how we will function. Okay, in this, the very first currency is USD in the question. Okay, the very first currency is USD, so we'll write here, okay, number 1, net liability when borrowing USD. Okay, net liability when borrowing USD. Okay, the formula, this same formula, so I'm not writing it again, but you all will have to show it every time in your exam. Okay, so borrowing amount, now in the question we saw that the person wants to borrow 12 million. Okay, there is a borrowing of 12 million, so I'll write here borrowing amount is 12 million. So 1 million is 10 lakhs, so 12 million will be 1 crore 20 lakhs. Okay, upon spot bid rate. Now if you look at the question, they haven't given us bid and ask, they are giving you single values. So if single values are given, it doesn't make too much of difference, you can directly use the same value for spot. So this is the first type of borrowing sum where the rates are directly given to us, there are no bid and ask, there is just one single rate which is given, so we will use that value. So it is 40.1245 into 1 plus highest interest rate. Now there's only one interest rate given to us, so we'll take it directly, 4.25%. It's 4.25%, it's upon 100. Now the period which they have given you is for 3 months, so 3 upon 12 into forward ask rate. Now here they are only giving you one rate of forward, so we'll take that as it is, 40.2765. so this is first one type of sum where the bid and there is direct forward and direct spot rate which is given to us, minus the borrowing amount which is again 1 crore 20 lakhs, that's 12 million. Okay, so now once you have done that, so we have 1 crore 20 lakh upon 40.1245 into 1 plus 4.25 upon 100 into 3 divided by 12 into 40.2765 minus 1 crore 20 lakh. Once you solve this, you all should get the value as INR, everything in rupee, INR 1,73,441.50. Okay, from the first one. Similarly, now we'll have to find net liability from the second currency. In the second currency, they are giving you euro. So when borrowing euro, okay, again formula remains the same. So amount which I want to borrow is 1 crore 20 lakh upon the spot rate. Now the spot rate is given to us as 54.1650 into 1 plus the interest rate which is 5.50 upon 100 into 3 divided by 12 into the forward rate which is 54.2000. Okay, so we are taking all those values directly from the question, and after that will be minus the amount which you are going to borrow. Again, first you divide, you multiply, divide, you add with 1, you multiply with the forward, okay, divide by the spot into the borrowing, you get one amount. That amount minus 1 crore 20 lakhs will give you your second liability, okay, which comes up to INR 1,72,860.70. Okay, so that was from the first. This from the second or the third currency. They are giving you GBP, so we'll take that net liability when borrowing GBP. Again, the formula remains same, 1 crore 20 lakhs upon the spot rate which is 80.0650 into 1 plus the rate of interest is 6%, so 6 upon 100 into 3 by 12 into the forward rate which is 80.0350. Whatever answer you get, you'll have to minus with the borrowed amount. So the value that you all should get would be INR 1,75,436.20. Okay, now the final conclusion. So now we have solved, we got all the three liability. Now whenever you're borrowing, always remember the least is the better. Okay, so among the three, this is 1,73,000, this is 172, this is 175. So 172 is the most economical. So the final answer will be borrowing would be done in euro since the liability is lowest. That's my final answer. Okay, so this is how you all have to solve very simple sum. Okay, using this formula you can solve any kind of sum available. Okay, so you all can try other solving other. Now this is the first type of sum where the spot and forward directly they were given to us. Now let us try another sum based on borrowing itself, but when bid and ask both the rates are given to us. Okay, so let us see how to solve such kind of sum. Okay, now if you look at the question, the second question, from the following data, decide on the best alternative for borrowing INR 5 million for a temporary period of 6 months on a risk-free basis. Ignore the transaction cost. They are giving you INR in currency, they are giving you USD, they are giving you Euro, and they are giving you GBP. Spot quote and forward both are given, but they are giving you with the bid and the ask, and the interest rate they are giving you two interest rates. Okay, so now we will see exactly how this entire formula gets used. Okay, so first what you are going to do, the very first currency is INR. So now just check here. Okay, there will be little slight thing that you will have to remember. Number one, first net liability when borrowing in INR. Again, our formula will remain the same. Borrowing amount, they want 5 million, so 1 million is 10, so 50 lakhs. Now remember, in INR you won't have any spot and you won't have any forward. Okay, rest the formula remains the same. The only thing is there won't be any spot and forward or bid and ask rate. Okay, they will be direct values. So 50 lakhs into 1 plus the highest interest rate. Now if you look carefully, 5.75 and 6, so highest interest rate is 6%, so 6 upon 100 into the period, it is a 6 months transaction period. Yeah, they give you 6 months forward, so 6 divided by 12 into the forward rate. Again, there won't be any forward rate here. Okay, remember, whenever you are doing for INR, there will be no forward, no spot, so that's it. The whole thing minus the borrowed amount, which is again 50 lakhs. So when you divide, when you solve, the value that you all should get would have been INR 1,50,000 in the first case. Okay, now second may they are giving you USD, so I'll write here net liability when borrowing in USD. Again, our formula remains the same. So borrowed amount, now borrowing amount is 50 lakhs upon, now this is very important. Okay, upon, we have to take the spot bid rate. Now the spot bid rate, spot may be a bid and ask, so we'll have to take the bid rate, which is the first value, so that will be 48.8830 into 1 plus highest interest rate. Now there are two interest rates, so I'll take the highest one, which is 4.5 upon 100. It is a 6 months, so 6 divided by 12 into the forward ask rate, which is 49.2360. Okay, bid is the first, ask is the second value. The whole thing minus the borrowed amount, which is 50 lakhs. Okay, so again, when you will solve this whole part, okay, you divide, multiply, again multiply, divide, multiply, get the value, minus is 50 lakh. The final amount that you all should get is INR 1,49,419. The first value was 1,50,000, second is, now the third one, third is euros, so we'll write this as third net liability when borrowing in euro. Again, formula remains the same. We have 50 lakhs upon the spot bid rate, which is 65.2545 into 1 plus the highest interest rate is 5% into 6 by 12 into the forward ask rate, which is 65.5575 minus the borrowed amount, which is 50 lakhs. Again you will solve the whole part. Okay, multiply, divide, add it with 1, multiply with the forward, divide by the spot into the borrowed amount, you get one value. That value divided by 50 lakhs, you should get the answer as rupees 1,48,797. Okay, now last, there is one more currency there. So net liability when borrowing in GBP, formula similar, we have 50 lakhs upon the spot rate, which was 90.4750 into 1 plus the highest rate, which is 5.5 upon 100 into 6 divided by 12 into the forward, that is 90.6780, the whole thing minus 50 lakhs. When you solve, you should get your final answer as INR 1,49,027. Okay, so looking at this, okay, we have 1,50,000, 149, 148, 149. 148 is the lowest liability. So your final answer will be borrowing would be done in euro since the liability is the lowest. Okay, so this is how you all had to solve the sum when they are asking you to have a borrowing decision under covered interest parity sums. Okay, so these are the two sum types of sums which can come when they ask you, they'll give you different alternative and they ask you which is the best alternative to borrow. Okay, so I hope everyone have understood this. In our next video, we are going to learn how to find, now this is based on borrowing. Now what will be if they give you multiple options for investing? So in our next video, we will be learning about, okay, various investment alternatives. Chalo, with that, we will be ending this video here. I hope everyone have understood that. With that, we will be ending this video. Thank you.